If you really wanna know, then come on, let's go. Take a stroll down those.
Having said that, we'll wrap up recapping this Oklahoma State game with our players of the game. I know we usually do offense and defense, but I figured, we could just go with just one. So, either offense or defense. Who's your player of the game for West Virginia in Game 10 against Oklahoma State?
I think I got to give it to Willie G. I think as bad as we looked in the second half, I think he still showed heart. He still showed fight. He got the ball in his hands and ran it in on that last touchdown, and he almost won it again on that last drive. I think if it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't have got as close as we did on that final drive. Because the way I seen it, our receivers didn't go up and catch the ball all night long. They didn't try to be aggressive all night. I think the only reason that they called what they did was because Will Greer placed the ball where he did. And so for that reason alone, I give him the player of the game.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with your statement about the receivers. I think that the physicality that the Oklahoma State corners showed really got to them, and they mentioned, Dana mentioned in his press conference, and I heard David Sills talking about it when he met with the media this week as well, that, those guys got really physical with them, and it kind of maybe frustrated them a little bit, and they tried to just get physical back rather than using their technique to beat the guys like they have in the past, and that's kind of been the bugaboo for these West Virginia receivers thus far this season. Both losses against Iowa State and Oklahoma State, they got physical play from the corners, so that's something that they need to work on, but the bright side of that is they're probably not going to encounter that against Oklahoma this coming week. But I like what you said about Will Greer. You always feel good with the game in his hands, especially at the end, and he did lead West Virginia down and showed toughness and resiliency throughout this game, much like he has throughout his career. But for my player of the game, I went with Kennedy McCoy just because, the career high day he had, 148 yards rushing on 21 carries for 2 touchdowns, and then also added 3 receptions for 54 yards in this one. So I thought it was a really good performance by Kennedy McCoy, and I think he's coming on and getting hot at the right time for West Virginia here towards the end of the season. Hopefully he can continue that against a porous Oklahoma defense coming up. But having said that, I guess we'll pretty much put a bow on Oklahoma State if you don't have anything else to add, Stephen.
I pretty much want to be done with talking about that game for the rest of my life, if you want me to be honest with you, bro.
I would have loved to avoid talking about it altogether, but I guess we're kind of obligated to do so. But let's put it in the books, put it behind us, much like West Virginia's players and coaches have, and look on to the big opportunity coming up against Oklahoma in Game 11 for the Mountaineers.